A company born in a garage. A computer that fits in a box. A world that fits in your pocket. And behind it all, one man, Steve Jobs. His story didn't just reshape technology. It redefined the limits of the human mind. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco. His biological mother, an unmarried college student, decided to give him up for adoption. Paul and Clara Jobs adopted Steve and raised him in California. Even as a child, he was different, curious, always asking questions. Where people asked, "Why?" he asked, "How can we change it?" In high school, Steve met Steve Wozniak. The two Steves shared a deep love for electronics. They built circuits, broke things, fixed them, and kept learning. He went to college, but didn't stay long. Tuition at Reed College was expensive. He dropped out, but stayed on campus sneaking into classes out of pure interest. Calligraphy classes sparked his love for design. A trip to India reshaped his worldview. He began to value simplicity over chaos. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak founded Apple in the Jobs family garage. Their first product, the Apple I, was a revolutionary idea, a personal computer. The real explosion came with the Apple II. With a color display, keyboard, and casing, it was groundbreaking for its time. Jobs didn't want to sell a product, he wanted to sell an experience. Computers shouldn't feel cold and technical. They should feel friendly and beautiful. In 1984, Apple introduced a revolutionary product, the Macintosh. It was the first personal computer with a graphical interface. A machine controlled by a mouse with icons and windows. Something the world had never seen. Jobs launched it with a massive campaign. The 1984 Super Bowl ad became a milestone in tech history. But things weren't smooth inside Apple. Jobs' leadership style was intense, often confrontational. He clashed with Apple's board. In 1985, he was fired from the company he co-founded. Being fired would end most careers. But for Jobs, it was a beginning. He founded Next, a company focused on building powerful computers for education and science. NeXT computers didn't succeed commercially, but the software would later become the foundation of Apple's future. Around the same time, Jobs acquired a small animation studio, Pixar. In 1995, Toy Story was released, the first ever full-length 3D animated film. Pixar quickly became a giant in animation. Jobs had now made his mark not just in tech, but in cinema. By 1997, Apple was struggling. The company was losing money. Its products were a mess, and it had lost its vision. Apple acquired Next, and Steve Jobs returned. His first move was to simplify the product line. Then came the iMac, colorful, transparent, and fun. For the first time, a computer wasn't cold, it was inviting. In 2001, the iPod was introduced. In 2007, the iPhone arrived. In 2010, the iPad launched. Jobs sparked 3 revolutions in just 1 decade. He wasn't just creating devices. He was changing how we listen to music, communicate, and access knowledge. Apple had become more than a company, it had become a culture. In 2003, Jobs was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He fought the disease for years, but never stopped working. In 2011, he resigned as Apple's CEO. Later that year, on October 5th, he passed away. He was just 56. Steve Jobs was an inventor, but more importantly, he was a dreamer. He told us to think different, and millions listened. The phone in our pocket, the tablet in our hands, the interface we use, all exist because one man wanted to change the world. This isn't just a story of technology. It's a story of belief, vision, and the human spirit. Inane Steve Jobs.